You're watching Fox 10 News with Linda Williams and Mark Martinez in HD.
In the budget battle, Arizona Governor Jan Brewer signed off on the state's budget last week, but a lot of people aren't happy about the massive amounts of cuts being made for the 2012 fiscal year. Dan Spindle spoke with a group of demonstrators who spent the afternoon in downtown Phoenix, and he joins us now live. Dan.
Well, Mark, there's no other way to describe it. You said massive cuts. The amounts of funding that are being slashed out of the budget to balance that budget, they're astronomical. Really, we're talking about $500 million from the Access program, and we're talking about $400 million from education. That's K through 12, that's university funding, community college funding as well. Upwards of around $1 billion, even more so, out of that budget. We know these are tough times. It's difficult for the legislators to get that balance budget, but folks in Phoenix today that gathered together to protest those cuts, they say it's just not going to cut it. A lot of people came out to enjoy the beautiful Sunday afternoon at Steele Indian School Park in Phoenix, but one group wasn't so happy. Chants of Save Our Kids and Our Schools rang out against massive budgetary cuts signed into law by Governor Brewer this week.
It's easy for the legislature to say that their backs are up against the wall, but they need to remember that they are not funding for textbooks. How can our children learn? We have a lot of school districts that are closing schools, and it's constantly, well, we can't give any more money for education.
Rochelle Wells with the Arizona PTA doesn't buy the idea that education funding and access dollars had to be placed on the chopping block. Dr. Randy Christensen questions the wisdom and the potential long-term effects of these cuts, too.
Higher suicides. It's just we know that things won't go well, and children will not do as well in school if they don't have the proper access to medical care.
The tough issue remains where to get the funding. Is it a simple question of priorities at the state level? Well, many of the protesters pointed to the necessary new revenue streams, and that means taxes, to fund schools that are struggling to deliver quality education.
We want to save Arizona's future, and Arizona's future is our children. We must make the investment in them so that they can grow up and be the citizens that we need to support our society.
You hear that phrase a lot, invest in our kids, invest in the schools. Investments take money, and that's what the legislature is trying to figure out, where that money should come from, where those revenue streams should come from. They're going to have to do what they call lawyer up. It looks like there are a few groups that are already planning on challenging this latest budget that was signed into law by the governor, and they say they're going to take it to the Arizona Supreme Court, so look out for that in the very near future. Reporting live in Phoenix, I'm Dan Spindle, Fox 10 News.